Good afternoon, you guys. Good afternoon. We are going to get started in just a little bit. I was about to say happy September, y'all. It ain't even September yet. But being that the Lord has already spoke to me about September, which I'm about to share with you guys, I am just so excited and I'm looking forward to what is getting ready to transpire in this month of September. Um, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So I'm getting my notes pulled up because I want to make sure that I do not miss anything um, as it relates to this word that the Lord gave me for the month of September. Y'all still have the sticker on my head. Like my nails need to be done actually. Um, but with the dip being so thick, I cannot even get the sticker off. Oh, I'm so sleepy, y'all. I promise I got good rest last night. I don't know why I'm so sleepy. Um, while we're waiting for more people to get on here, I went and saw The Forge today, you guys. It came out last week. So it came out last Friday, I think. So it's still a fairly new movie. It hasn't been that long since it has been out. But if you have not already had the chance to go and see The Forge, y'all, go and see The Forge. It was so good. It was such a profound message. Like it really, really, really blessed me. Um, I thought that the acting was okay. Maybe because I was just so focused on the message. And then I'm just so used to okay, so The Forge is a Kendrick Brothers movie. If you are not familiar with the Kendrick Brothers, I encourage you to get familiar with every like movie that they have ever done. My favorite movie of theirs, it's probably not more so, I don't think it's a movie per se, but my favorite production of theirs, I'll say, is Show Me the Father. So I am just like pretty used to like their movies. I know a lot of times their movies have like a lot of the same like actors and actresses. So I don't know. I don't really think I was focused on the acting. But it was a powerful message. It was really, really good. And if you have not seen it, like I said, I would encourage you to go and to see it. So I'm sorry, y'all. I promise this is my last time yarning. I'm gonna try to get this word out so that I could take a quick nap before it's time to go and pick up my kids. Okay, so September, y'all. Who's excited for September? Who is looking forward to an amazing month? Who is looking forward to the Lord doing some awesome, 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 and mighty things in the month of September, y'all? Like, this is going to be such a good month. This is going to be such a month of testimony. This is going to be such a month of favor. This is going to be such a month of joy. Like I'm not trying to rush it. Like I don't want to be like, oh, I can't wait until the 30th. But I'm just so excited for everybody to be able to witness what the Lord is getting ready to do in this month of September. So okay, let's get to it, you guys. The prophetic word for September, y'all. Like I am super excited to share this. I feel like it's simple, but then at the same time, it is like a very like meaty and robust word. So, what I heard the Lord say is that it is going to indeed be a supernatural September. Again, I heard the Lord say it is going to indeed be a supernatural September. it is going to indeed be a supernatural September. And let me just tell you guys, what I believe that means when the Lord said that it's going to be a supernatural September. I believe that we should be in a position where we are ready for miracles. I believe that we are in a position where, or I believe that we need to be in a position where we are just in such a place of excitement and we're expecting the Lord to do things out of nowhere. I believe that we need to remain in a position where we are staying focused on the Lord. Like I'm talking about, like, I know you're already knowing that you need to focus on the Lord, but I'm talking about like focusing on the Lord in terms of like him having your undivided attention. Because what I heard the Lord say is that how you move in September is going to be a setup for the months that immediately follow September. And so, what I believe that this means is that what you are doing in the month of September, that is going to set up your fourth quarter of the year. Again, what I believe this to mean, and you can go and pray and talk to God yourself regarding this and see what he gives you. But what I believe that this means is what you are doing in September is going to determine how the rest of your year goes. And we know that the last 3 months of the year, October, November, and December, we know that that is the fourth quarter of the year. So again, I heard the Lord say that it is going to be a supernatural September. 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 It is going to be a supernatural September, y'all. So the other thing that I heard, because the Lord gave me two words when he described what September was going to be like. And the first word I already gave to y'all, he said that it was going to be supernatural. But this other thing, this other word that he gave me, I actually want to pull up. I want to pull up the definition of the word because that's just going to just make it even more of a blessing to you guys. Okay. So I heard the Lord say, in addition to it being a supernatural September, I heard the Lord say that it is going to be a sovereign September. Okay. Are y'all hearing that? I heard the Lord say that in addition to it being a supernatural September, that it is also going to be a sovereign September. Again, in addition to it being a supernatural September, it is going to be a sovereign September. So let me read to you guys what the definition of the word sovereign is. Now, of course, there are multiple definitions of the word sovereign depending on how you are using it. It could be used as a noun, it could be used as an adjective. So I want to really focus on the definition of sovereign as an adjective, okay? So sovereign as an adjective is defined as possessing supreme or ultimate power. Again, sovereign defined as an adjective is possessing supreme or ultimate power. Again, possessing supreme or ultimate power. You need to know that it is the Lord, the one and only true God. You need to know that it is the Most High God. You need to know that it is the name above all names, Jesus, that holds your September in his hand. Okay, we are still in August because this is August the 30th. So we still got a couple more days left in August. We are still in August. And the Lord is already saying, don't worry about September because I already got it. We are still in August, and the Lord is saying, don't worry about September because I already have every day covered. We are in August, and the Lord is literally saying, don't worry about the bills that are due for September. Don't worry about any situations coming up. Don't worry about any unresolved things. The Lord is saying, you might still be in August, but I am so sovereign. Okay. God is like, he is so sovereign that he is already in the month of September working things out in terms of our needs, our wants, and our desires for the month of September. And so, what I specifically heard that we need to do, and I really want you guys to take heed to this, because this is not advice. This is not coming from me. This is an order, okay? Because this is coming from the Lord. So what I heard the Lord say is get rid of the weights. And it blessed me so much because when he gave me this word, he also gave me like a visual. And so what I saw was a person walking, but the person walking was like carrying a lot of weight, and not weight in terms of like stuff, but I'm talking about they were carrying a lot of weight, like as in weight, like how much I weigh or how much you weigh, or that, like it was like they were carrying a lot of weight on their body. And let's put it into perspective, right? A person that is carrying a lot of weight, and I'm not talking about a person that is carrying weight in terms of like they might be a couple pounds overweight, or I'm talking about a person that is like really overweight, like a person that essentially by medical terms would be considered to be obese, right? So what do we know now? I'm not a big my 600-pound life person. In fact, I don't even think I've ever seen a full episode unless I seen it and somebody had it on it like the nail salon or something. But it's just not a show that I watch. But what I know about that show is that when they go to the doctor, what is the doctor's name? Is his name Doctor Now, Doctor No, or something like that? Um, it's something, and I know that the doc. I think the doctor is like here in like Texas, right? He's in like Houston. So what I know about that show is that when they go to this doctor and he weighs them and all of that stuff, one of the things that he begins to talk to them about is the risk of carrying around all that weight. That is one of the reasons why most people consider weight loss surgery to be a life-changing, life-saving, in some cases, surgery, right? It's considered a life-changing, life-saving surgery because y'all, and I'm not a doctor. My sister is probably going to be watching this. My sister is a nurse practitioner, so she know all the medical stuff, that it means. But what I know about when you carry a lot of weight is that when you carry a lot of weight, it can make you susceptible to certain illnesses and diseases that you may not be at risk for if you were walking around at a normal weight. And that's why with surgery, doctors and surgeons, they don't even want to operate on you if your BMI is a certain thing, right? They don't even want to operate. That's why that doctor on that show, My 600-Pound Life, there's literally a lot of people on that show that before they can even get the surgery, they actually have to lose weight to even qualify for the surgery. Are you guys following me? I need you guys to follow this because what I heard the Lord say is we need to drop the weight because I hear the Lord saying that so many of us are obese with worry. I hear the Lord saying so many of us are obese with fear. I hear the Lord saying that so many of us are obese with doubts. I hear the Lord saying that so many of us are obese with anxiety. We are literally at an obese level for these things because that's how heavy that weight is on us. You might be in shape physically, but the Lord is like, you're really obese spiritually because you are literally carrying around this weight of worry that I keep trying to tell you in my word. Open up your Bible to the book of Matthew, open up your Bible to the book of Peter, open up your Bible to the book of Isaiah, open up your Bible to probably every single book in the entire Bible. And somehow, some way, in every book of the Bible, you are probably going to find a scripture. You are probably going to find some sort of passage that literally explains to you, don't worry, that literally explains to you that God wants us to fear not. So the Lord said, hand the weight over, because I hear the Lord saying that if you don't hand the weight over, you are susceptible to certain things like missing out on your destiny. I heard the Lord say that if you don't hand the weight over, you are literally susceptible to certain things like having a nervous breakdown because you're so worried. I heard the Lord say that if you don't hand the weight over, you are literally susceptible to certain diseases because you're allowing stress which is literally the root of over 90% of disease, you are allowing that weight of that stress to just drag you down. For some of y'all to be so light weight wise, I'm talking about some of y'all work out every day, you walk every day, you do all these things. For some of y'all to be so light weight wise, you so heavy and you so obese looking because you carrying around all of that weight. God don't want you carrying that. Hand it over. 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 Hand that weight over to God, y'all. He does not want you carrying it. Okay. So that was the first marching order. It's another one. Let me go to my notes. I don't want to miss nothing. Excuse me. Oh wait, that's not my notes. That's the definition. Okay, so all right. So it's actually three marching orders. I'm sorry. So I shared with you guys the first marching order. Okay, the first marching order is to hand the weight over to God. The second marching order. So what I love about like God speaking to me is he will just speak to me in like a series and it'll be like about the same thing, right? And so I actually thought that I was going to get on here yesterday. For those of you that are a part of Wealth Warfare Wednesday, I literally said to you guys on Wednesday, I'm like, oh, I'm going to be getting on YouTube to share a word with you guys. It's going to either be Thursday or it's going to be Friday. I'm so happy that I did not prematurely get on here yesterday on Thursday because y'all, a big piece of this word, the Lord gave it to me yesterday evening when I was on the way back from picking up my son. So y'all, when I was on the way back from picking him up, now y'all know I think I've shared with y'all that the school that he goes to is quite the distance from where we currently are living. Now you add like a little bit of rush hour traffic up in there, and it's about 45 minutes. Okay. So yesterday, in order, because I always like put it in my GPS to make sure that I'm taking the best route possible to avoid the traffic and, basically get home the fastest. When you got a 4-year-old, you don't want to be like sitting. It's one thing to have like a drive that's a little bit of a distance, but when you're sitting most of that drive, you're literally setting yourself up for that child to be like, Mama, are we there yet? What we doing? What's going on? Okay. So it took me this way that I've never been before. Okay. It took me like almost like you could kind of say around around the mulberry bush. But it was a blessing because it wasn't any type of like traffic on this route, but it was still, a little bit of a distance. So anyway, it took me this different way. And y'all, from the time that I got within, I'm gonna say about 2 minutes of my son's school, I saw an accident. So like I was turned, okay, so how I get to his school, there's this one road that I come down, and then it's this left turn that I make. And then once I make the left turn, basically I'm on the block, to his school. It's not like a straight shot there. So I'm trying to turn and I'm noticing that the turning lane is not moving. And I'm just like, what's going on? So I finally get to pull up a little bit closer and I see that to my left, in the middle of like on what would have been oncoming traffic on the right side, there are these two cars that stopped because there is an accident. So that was the first one. I need y'all to keep count, okay? So it was that accident. I go to pick up my baby. We are leaving, y'all. I am now making a left on the same street that I made a left from when I was coming to get him because the GPS is taking me a different way home than it sent me to pick him up. So I'm now making a left on that street. Do y'all know as we were leaving, I saw another accident on the same street? I'm talking about the second accident that I saw was not there when I was on my way to the school. But I'm gonna tell y'all, from the time that I went to get, like park the car, walk in to pick him up, it couldn't have taken me no more than like 10 to 15 minutes, right? So by this time, and the accident happened so close in time to the other accident that the cars from the accident that I saw when I was on my way to pick him up, the one car was still out there. That's how fast these accidents happen back to back. And I'm talking about, it wasn't like the second one was like a little bit of ways down the road. I'm talking about these accidents were two separate accidents, and they were literally within probably about 15 feet of each other. Okay. So I'm like, that's weird. Like, what's going? So I said, Lord, I don't know what you saying, but I'm listening, because I felt that it was just very odd that in that quick of a time span, and that close together, that I would literally just see two accidents like that immediately. So I got my baby, on my way, headed home, y'all. We're on the highway. Like I said, it took me a totally different way than I've ever been before. Do y'all know, maybe about 25 minutes into our drive, I saw another accident, y'all. And this other accident, this was like a full blown, like, I'm talking about, like, Dallas Fire and Rescue was out there. Like, I saw like ambulances out there. It was like a thing. Like, it was a whole thing. This particular accident. So that's the third accident that I didn't seen. So at this point, I'm praying. Like, and I pray every time I see an ambulance anyway, like, Lord, please help those people, please heal them, please make sure that they're okay. But I'm just praying because I'm like, what's going on? So at this point, I'm praying against accidents. I'm praying against accidents because this is literally within 30 minutes that I didn't seen three accidents. Like, this is crazy. So I go, and we're going to the house. I actually needed to grab something before I picked the baby up from daycare. So we go to the house. Do y'all know the street that we make a left on? Like, once we get off of Dallas North Tollway, the street that we turn on to make a left to head to our house. Do y'all know I saw another accident, y'all? I have never had this happen in my life, where I am literally just on one trip and I see multiple accidents like that. Now, it's one thing if it's like inclement weather, if it's like icing or if it's snowing, like, when it's weather is crazy, you might see some things, but like, the weather here in Dallas yesterday was normal. It was like the clouds, was out nice and pretty. The sun was out. Like, it was no reason for me to see those accidents like that. And I'm talking about like 4 to 5 accidents in a row. So now I'm like, okay, Lord, what you saying? What you saying? Because I know that you saying something. Okay. So what I heard the Lord saying is most accidents could be avoided if people would just stay alert. Are y'all getting this? What I heard the Lord say is most accidents could be avoided if people would just stay alert. Now, when the Lord gave me this word, he told me to go to the definition. I think I still have it pulled up. Okay, here it is. So he told me to go and look up the official definition for the word alert. So alert is defined, and I actually want to give y'all multiple variations of this definition, because I feel like all of them apply. So as a noun, the word alert is defined as the state of being watchful for possible danger. Okay. As an adjective, alert is defined as quick to notice any unusual and potentially dangerous or difficult circumstances, to be vigilant. Are y'all catching that? That's the second definition. As an adjective was the one I just gave. Now, as a verb, alert is defined as to warn someone of a danger, a threat, or a problem, typically with the intention of having it avoided or dealt with. I need you guys to understand. Let me go back to my notes. I need you guys to understand that this next instruction for September, I don't want you to take this lightly. And it's so crazy because when I went to see the movie The Forge this morning, I went to like the 10 o'clock show, right? So when I went and saw the movie The Forge this morning, I honestly just thought that I was going to be going to a movie and enjoying myself. Like I said, I love the Kendrick brothers movies. I knew that it probably was going to be like a little bit emotional, because I know how their movies are, but I didn't think that movie would have anything to do with this prophetic word, just being completely honest, right? And so when I watched the movie, a huge part of the movie um was literally like confirmation, right? Because hold on, let me pull it back up. Because one of the things that the Lord said that we need to make sure that we're doing for the month of September and beyond is we need to be staying alert. And what I heard the Lord say is how he needs us to stay alert in the month of September is he needs us to shut off and shut down the very thing that is commanding a lot of our attention. Now, if you are in Increase 365, I told y'all yesterday when I shared the word last night, I said I'm gonna share the full part of this word when I get on YouTube tomorrow. But remember I said how you know that it's God is you're being called to do something that you really don't want to do. Like you're being called to do something that literally goes against what your flesh wants to do, right? So there's a part in the movie The Forge. I'm not going to tell it because I know everybody hasn't seen it, so I don't want to ruin it. But there's a part in the movie The Forge where God calls this young man to give up something that I'm sure he could have never seen himself like giving up. And he's calling him to give up this thing basically so that he could get closer to the Lord, so that he could grow in his relationship, in his walk with Christ. Okay. So God told me to turn the TV off. I'm just going to tell y'all. And first of all, do y'all see this hat, honey? That is a Baltimore Ravens hat. I am a We Ride It Dawn fan of the Baltimore Ravens football team. Y'all, like, football comes back on this week. The Lord then told me to cut off the TV at the time that I want to cut it on the most. The Lord then told me to cut off the TV when I want to turn all the way up and be watching football every Sunday. The Lord then told me, y'all. Lord knows my flesh don't want to do it. He know my flesh don't want to do it, but that's why I said I know that it's him. I know that it's him and I know that he has something for me because it literally goes directly against what my flesh wants to do. So the Lord told me to cut the TV off. I'm not saying that y'all got to cut the TV off, but I'm just letting you know what the Lord told me that I need to step away from. So yeah, that is what I will be doing for the month of September in order to stay alert. Um Also, like, one of my shows comes back on in September, you guys. It's just, again, the Lord know, he know that my flesh, that ain't really what I want to do. But I'm going to do it because my obedience to the Lord is more important than what my flesh wants to do. I'm going to do it because my obedience to the Lord is more important than this show that I could watch on TV at any time. My obedience is more important than this football game that I could get the highlights of, even if it's 4 or 5 months after the game has went off. Like, it is so important. And let me tell y'all, this is how you know whether or not something in your life is an idol. Because when something is an idol, you are just like, oh, I can't do that. It got to be something else. Like when the Lord said, cut the TV off immediately, okay, is that simple? Okay. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody in my house, is not allowed to watch TV. So, am I going to probably be in the room when my sons are watching their kids' shows and things like that? Yes. But I'm not intentionally setting up or sitting up and turning on the football game. I'm not intentionally sitting up and turning on my favorite shows and watching Hulu and like, I'm not doing those things. And it's so interesting because, like, when I tell y'all, like, the month of August has been such a month of serving other people. Like, I think I shared that with y'all. Like, the very first week of August, I had my birthday fund. That my birthday was the first Monday in August, the 5th. So I had my birthday fund that day. And then from the 6th through like the 10th, or the 6th to the 9th or the 10th, I was in Arizona serving at the restoration retreat that we had with the My Paid Year community. After that, I was helping my husband with anything that he needed help with leading up to his big event. And then a week after that, we were getting our sons ready to travel. So it's just been a whole lot of things like going on in the month of August. And in between that time, with all of the pouring and sowing into other people and all of that stuff, the Lord just had me doing a lot of things like, what's the best way to describe it? He had me doing a lot of things like in a leisure way that I don't normally do. Like in the month of August, I read 3 books in the month of August. But this is the thing, y'all. These 3 books, like they weren't books like, oh, these are business books. They were actually novels. Like they were books that like did not have anything to do with business, and they didn't have anything to do with ministry. And I really believe that the Lord had me doing that stuff, like reading the books and catching up on shows and things like that, because he knew how like on point and alert he needed me for the month of September. And so that leads me to the last part of hold on that leads me to the last part of this instruction that the Lord has given us for the month of September. He said that he needs us to be steadfast this month. Again, he needs us to be steadfast. He needs us to be steadfast. If you are expecting to see a supernatural September, if you are expecting to see a sovereign September, the Lord said he is going to need you to be steadfast. So let me give y'all the definition of steadfast, because he told me to share that as well. So, steadfast is defined as firm and unwavering. Okay. Steadfast is defined as firm and unwavering. Steadfast is defined as firm and unwavering. Steadfast is defined as firm and unwavering. The Lord needs us to have a supernatural focus, y'all. The Lord needs us to be super steadfast and have our eyes fixed on him and fixed on only him. You guys, you got to be steadfast. And I just want to explain that for the people that may not really like fully understand what that means. He needs us to be steadfast by like opening up our Bible. Okay. He needs us to be steadfast and open up our Bible. He needs us to be steadfast in fasting. We are actually starting our September increase fast on Sunday. Sunday is the first of the month. We do the increase fast on the first of every month for 5 days straight. So from September the 1st through September the 5th, we are actually going to be fasting. If you would like to join us for our September increase fast, shoot me over an email. Let me actually put my email in the comments. Shoot me over an email at hi@raven.co if you want the link to join us for our September fast, y'all. But when I tell y'all, I am super excited for what the Lord is getting ready to show us in the month of September. But please, please, please do not take this instruction lightly. Because, like I said, this is not me giving you no advice. This is not me saying, oh, this is what works for me. I'm literally telling y'all what the Lord is instructing. Okay. It ain't me that's saying I don't want to watch no football and stuff. Like, that ain't me. This is God that's instructing me to be on alert. This is the Lord that's instructing me to be vigilant. This is the Lord that is instructing me to be steadfast so that I can see a supernatural and sovereign month of September. And I want you guys to be able to see that as well. So that is all I have for y'all for the month of September. That is the word of the Lord. I'm sure that there will be much more that the Lord will be sharing in the month of September. I am going to be back on here, not this weekend, not on Monday, because Monday is Labor Day and my kids are out of school. But I am going to be back on here Tuesday, you guys. And I am so excited to get back on here because there is something I don't have time to share right now because I got to get ready to go and get everything together to pick up my kids. But oh, and my computer is on 5%. But there is something that I am going to be sharing with you guys. And this word is going to be specifically for people that are called to ministry. Even if you are not already in ministry, but if you believe that there's a call on your life with ministry, I need you to meet me on YouTube on Tuesday. I'll share more about like the details in terms of the time and all of that stuff. on Tuesday. But yes, please be on the lookout for that and meet me back on here on Tuesday. It's probably going to be in the morning. I don't know. Let me see what time it is. I mean, let me see what my schedule looks like on Tuesday. Okay, yeah. So it's probably going to be on here in the morning. But like I said, if you are called to ministry, if you know anybody else that's called to ministry, if even if you're not operating in ministry, but you believe that there's a call on your life to ministry, I need you to be there with me on Tuesday on YouTube, you guys. So y'all are so welcome. Have an amazing, amazing, amazing rest of your day. Y'all have a beautiful extended weekend for those of you guys that are off on Monday for Labor Day. And I will talk to you guys soon.